Welcome back, guys. Let's get right into it. So I didn't film this step, but you get the point. You want to take a degreaser and clean down your piece. After I let that dry, I took my citristrip and I am placing that onto my piece. I did work with what I have. I didn't have too much, so I just took advantage of what I had left. And if there was any residue or paint that was left over, I would just sand that down. Now this is what you want to see. This is how you know that the paint is ready to be removed, when you start to see that it's bubbling. I did have a subscriber mention that they saw other YouTubers use a plastic bag or saran wrap and place it on top so that the citrus strip doesn't dry out and it'll actually penetrate the paint more. So I'm going to keep that in mind for my next project and I will try that out. Now once I am done scrubbing all of the paint off, I'm going to neutralize the table with some mineral spirits. This is just going to remove any residue or paint or citrus strip that is left on it and just neutralize it so that the citrus strip doesn't continue to strip my tabletop. So here I did get ahead of myself. I do know better, but I was just really getting tired at this point and it was getting late in the day and I just wanted to try and hurry up and get this project done. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that the top is completely dry before you start sanding, because if you don't, as you can see, I noticed here that the dust and the sand was caking up on my sandpaper. So you do want to make sure that it is dry. So I waited for the next day to sand down the top of the table. And I am using an 80 grit sandpaper to get down to the Behr wood. I will also be leaving a link to the products that I use in the description box. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go ahead and take a look down below. Now what I'm doing is sanding down the bottom portion of the table. I'm using a 220 grit paper and I'm just hand sanding down the top coat that's on the paint and just scuffing up the surface a bit to get ready for the new paint. Now we are getting to the fun part, the painting. I'm using the Behr paint and primer in one. Low odor, of course. So this paint has a built-in primer, so I didn't feel the need to prime it. And of course, this is the very first coat, so it's not going to be pretty, but I did, I believe, a total of 3 coats. So what I'm doing here is bleaching the wood. So my spray bottle contained about 1/3 of water and 1 part bleach. So I did saturate the top of it and just let it sit and dry for a few hours. I did do a test coat on one of the corners where I just did a top coat, and I really didn't like the finish. It was still yellow to me, so I decided to stain it instead. Here I'm using Minwax American Walnut. This was a really old stain. I don't know what was going on, but for some reason I was having a really hard time staining this table. For some reason the coat, the stain just wasn't penetrating the wood evenly. I'm not sure if it had anything to do with me trying to bleach the wood. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with me not conditioning the wood before I stained, but I'm not exactly sure what was going on. But I really did love the look of it with the 1 coat, but I did have to try and do 2 coats because it just wasn't blending out well for me. Okay, so that was just a fail. Again, like I said, it didn't work out, so I ended up sanding the top of the table again, and I'm trying to figure out a new technique on how to apply the stain. I was very determined to try the stain even though it was old. I didn't want to go and purchase a new one at the moment. I was trying to stay out of the stores, and I was really getting impatient. I didn't want to order anything online, so I was determined to make it work. So the second time worked a little bit better, but some areas of it was still pretty splotchy, so I still did a second coat to the table. It was darker than what I anticipated it being, but it still turned out really pretty. guys can see, this table is just taking on a completely new look. It's a 360-degree change compared to the way that it looked before. I still love the before shot, but as you guys know, I get really bored easily with things, and I can't have a piece of furniture in my house for probably more than a year without me getting bored and wanting to do something different. So this was my take on my new dining room table. Here I am using my Minwax water-based polycrylic. This is my favorite top coat to use on my furniture. I did 3 coats on the top and 2 on the bottom. If you guys made it this far, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for taking the time out to watch it. I really do appreciate all of you guys. If you haven't already, please also subscribe to this channel so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I would highly appreciate it as well if you can also share my channel with others that also likes content like this. That will help out my channel a lot. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I see you guys on the next one.